Hey, greetings fellow makers, Bill here, and I am going to be working on this helmet today. I'm on our live stream, of course, over at Twitch. You can head on over there and follow us if you want to see notifications for when we go live, usually noon on Tuesdays, and when we're working from the shop, like I am right now. Like I said, today I'm working on this helmet. This is the helmet that I built in a video a couple of days ago, showing off how I figured out the pattern for this. So if you want to learn how this helmet was patterned, head on over there and check out that video. Also, this pattern is available on our website right here. It's just a couple of dollars. So if you want to jump to the head of the class and just download a PDF and print it out to make this helmet, why, it's right there. So you can go grab that, or you can make your own template and follow along with me today. So there we go. We're just going to be adding detail to this guy, kind of finishing up the fabrication on it, and I'm happy to have you here. Let's do this. For our work today, I'm going to try and use as basic materials as possible. I got my foam ruler here, customized by Mr. W.M. Armory. Thank you very much, Will. Got my helmet here. I have my barge. I, of course, have the appropriate respirator here for safety, because this stuff is kind of nasty. I've got my knives. I've got my sharpener. I have some super glue somewhere. There it is. I've got super glue. And of course I have foam. This is a bucket of scraps. I've got a lot of different thicknesses. I've got some 6mm stuff here. I've got some 2mm stuff. I have floor mats. I have thicker, I think this is 10mm. I have colors. I have these tubes from TNT Cosplay Supply, these dowels, these foam dowels. So I'm going to try and use mostly just these scraps to go through and add detail to my helmet. We're going to kind of design it on the fly and try and have a little bit of fun. Here we go. I got a little bit of a design. The blue on here is the original helmet. Red is things I'm going to take off. And then green is what I'm going to add. So it's kind of a basic idea of what I want to try and accomplish here. I think the first thing I'm going to try and do is this spine down the middle of the helmet. That should cover this seam here. A lot of the design elements here are specifically for getting rid of the seams, hiding them and masking them. Actually, the first thing I can do is trim off the ends here. So I have my helmet, my original idea. The basic thing has these pointy ends here, and I think I just want to trim those down. But to make them nice and symmetrical, I will measure in, let's say, 1.5 inches here. And then let's do the same down there. Like that. Let's do this. That's where I'll trim that right there. And I'm just going to put this on the edge of my table here. Get a nice sharp knife and trim that edge off. So that's what I had before. This is what I have now, and I like that. I'm going for kind of more of a sci-fi thing, and that'll do. So I'll just do that to the other side real quick. And then for the helmet, for the spine, I'm going to use my foam ruler here and measure all the way down to get a good idea for the length. I need about 18 inches long. This piece I have here, this scrap piece, is not quite long enough. So, gonna grab some more foam. Be right back. I have a full length of foam floor mat there, and that should be plenty to make my piece. And I think I want to use the textured side for this part. And I'm going to start by just cutting one of the sides, and I'm going to put a little bit of a bevel on it, like so. Whoops. There, and a nice sharp knife makes all the difference. Got a nice bevel on that. And then I'll cut the other side, and let's make this couple inches wide. Nice and wide. Like so. It's going to be like that. There's my line. And again, we're going to cut a bevel, try and make it about the same as the one I did before. Nice, even stroke. Looks like I got to go for a second pass. Just about there. Let's get one more. Like that. Oh, a little rough right there. A little rough on my cut. But there we go. We've got this nice band here that will go across the top of the helmet. Before I glue this down, I'm going to add that little bit of a nose thing that's covering it there. Whoops. I've got some barge on there that will attach it, and that will go on top of it there. Well, while that's drying, I'm going to pattern this side piece here. And to do that, I will cover it in tape and then draw my pattern on. So I've just got some painter's tape here. Nothing too fancy. Just getting it on. Nope, there we go. What's cool about this is I'll draw this on one side and I will be able to just flip it over, do the other side. And I really just need this to be a surface detail that looks cool and covers the seams. So the seams peeking through right there, I want to make sure that's nice and covered. So let's go up a little bit higher. It can even just follow the seam, and I do kind of want it to end right at that corner. So I will do that. Like so. So this is going to come, I think I want this to come all the way down here. And I'll make, where's my marker? Let's see, this is going to be right around there. And I'll make this follow it like that. And then looks pretty good right there. Actually, I can even just use this edge right here. Bring this all the way up. Whoops. Yeah, I'm going to give it a little bit of a bevel to that seam. Right there. On the back side of this, I'm just going to trace out the edge of the helmet. And I will trim that once I peel it off. So there's the basic shape right there. This can come off now. And I can trim it. Let's see. Let's take my sharp knife. Trim this edge here. Trim that there. That can go away. And then I trace the back side too. So this goes like this. Whoop. And this goes like this. And this gets trimmed like this. Oops. And that is our template for the right side. Like that. And then I can flip it over. Do the left side. And I think this will get cut out of more of this with the texture facing up. I'm thinking that's going to be the way it goes. Let's see here. Just like that. And I like to use my weights. I've got my 1, 2, 3 blocks right here to hold my patterns in place. And then I can trace it out with a pen or a marker or whatever I have. There we go. I think I'm going to use a marker. It's not showing up. It's hard for stuff to show up really well on the textured side of foam. The pattern is on there, and then this can be cut out. This is going to be just a straight cut, but I think the rest of them are going to have a little bit of a bevel. Just need to keep that in mind when cutting them out. Like that. A little bit of a bevel here. That was kind of ugly. Need to sharpen my knife whenever I see any tearing like that, then I know to give my edge a refresh there. That was much better. Let's see. That. And like that. Alright, a little rough. I'm going to clean that up a bit. But this piece here should now match up pretty well. Pretty well. Like that. And cover my seam. And that'll go on there. So I'm going to do, again, a little bit of cleanup work on this guy. I'll probably hit it with a heat gun to form it a little bit. And then get that glued down. In the meantime, this nose piece is ready to go. Put some barge on it earlier. It can stick down like so. There we go. That's going to go on there. And when I'm ready, that is going to cover that and create this spine. So we're getting there. Cool. We've got our pieces cut out for the next layer of detail, or the first layer of detail, and these are going to get heat formed first. I'm going to heat them up with a heat gun and kind of hand form them a bit to get them closer to the final shape. I'm just doing half of this for now. Oh, there's no need to get it like screaming hot. You just gotta warm it up a tiny bit and just round it out a bit, and both this way and this way, so that it's got a little bit more of a contour that matches the helmet like that. So let's do that, and we'll do the other side. Okay, so this is kind of close to the right shape. I can just do a quick test and see how it's going to run on there, and that's pretty good. And let's see, I'll pin it down like that, and then just kind of trace out where it's going to land. Let's do the same thing in the back here. This way I'll know where to put my glue and where to lay it down. So that looks about right. Just kind of positioning it. Like that. So I know that's where my barge cement can go. So I'm going to do a bunch of barge. I'm going to put on my respirator here real quick so I don't gas myself. And smear it on. I'm going to make sure I get all the way to the edges here on this. And where I drew this line, it's okay if I overlap that a little bit. That's fine. I want to make sure that it gets good coverage. Nice and spread out like that. Let that dry, then cover the back of this. Again, more wonderful, delicious contact cement. Definitely make sure it goes over the edge like that. Alright, I'm going to finish covering this, letting it dry, and then we'll put it together. Thumbs up? Thumbs up. There it is. Our side panels have been heat formed. They're going to get glued down there in just a moment. The spine here is ready to go. The glue is still a little shiny. It should be fine. But we've got contact cement on both sides, and now I can just press it together and line everything up. Like so. I can even press some of those edges so that they're a little bit closer to the final shape that I want, like so. And now I can just follow the lines that I made earlier and line it up right down the middle of the helmet, covering up this big nasty gap right there. That looks hideous, but now it's nice and covered. Like that. That. Now that I have that placed, I can press these gaps down and close everything up just like that, all the way from one front end to the back, or from the back to the front, like so. Just press that down like that, and then just do the same thing on the other side. Like so. And I forgot to sand that, but it's alright, we'll fix that somehow. There we go. There is the first detail laid down. Good to go. And then these are going to go on the side. So now what I'll do is glue this up, glue that up, stick those together. And then we'll work on the next step. Cool, our glue is just about set up on the side panels here. So let's throw those on. This is the left side, so that goes over here like this. Just put that on upside down. So let's get the edges to line up all nice like first, like that, and then like that, and it overlaps a little bit. I'm just gonna let that do its thing. Run this down the other side like that. And glue it down. All I have to do now is press it together. And that is one side panel like that. And do the same thing on the other side. Also from TNT Cosplay, I got some of these dowels, these foam dowels to try out. So I took one of them and I cut it lengthwise. I just cut down the middle of it here to get sort of these half round pieces. And I think I want to try and glue them down here as a bit of trim. And for a small piece like this, I'll just use super glue instead of taking all the time with contact cement. But I'll just lay down a bit of super glue, really kind of cover the area. And because this stuff is flexible, I can tack it down, let it dry, let it cure. Super glue cures, actually. It doesn't dry, it cures it. It responds to moisture in the air. Clean up a little bit, but because it's flexible, if I get to this corner here, I can just pin this down with my finger and bend it like that. And there you go. A little bit of glue squeezing out there. I can clean that up. This will go down to about there. I can trim it with a sharp knife. With a sharp knife, super sharp, the knife that needs sharpening, and then that can get glued down like that. So we'll just add a little bit more super glue here. Like that. And there we go. Clean up any squeeze out as it goes. And I need a little bit more glue in that seam there. And then I'll just like push this together and try not to glue it to my thumb. Okay. And there we go. We have a little bit of piping that goes around, some trim around the edge of the helmet there. I'll just do the other side. And there we go. I like that. This stuff's awesome. Great. Got my piping on there. And now I want to cover these seams here. I'm going to go super simple with this. I've got some 2mm craft foam here. I've just cut out some really thin strips. And all I'm going to do is go around it with super glue, more of that super glue. Here, like this. And just sort of trace that seam. Grab my thin bit of foam and tack it down. When the foam is this thin, it is very flexible. And I'd like to take advantage of that by just bending it and stretching it to where I need it. Just like that. Hold it for a moment or until it stays. Until it stays. Press it. I like to also press down with a paper towel so that it picks up any extra super glue as it goes. There we go. And then just sort of tack it down along the path like that, so we can put a bit more super glue down along this seam. A little bit more. There it goes. And then go on a little journey. And as I get down near the bottom here where it's going to connect, I'll kind of line it up and then trim it like that. That looks like it's going to fit just fine. So I'll just lay down a little more glue along this last part of the path here. And just finished up. So, stay. There we go. Go. There we go. There we go. No. Stay. Okay. And again, I'll just go over it carefully with a paper towel to pick up any extra super glue that's kind of squeezing out. And there we go. That looks pretty alright. So it looks like a design feature and not like it's hiding a seam. Alright. Okay, time to add a little bit of detail on the side of the helmet here. I've already made one here, and I just put some barge on it. That'll get glued on. This is the design that I came up with. I'm just going to flip it over and trace it onto this 6mm foam. Now, this guy here is the outline. There's a circle right there. There's a couple lines of scored details right here. And then there's these slots, and all I'm going to do is poke in the centers of those slots, like so. And I can see where those are. The whole thing can get cut out. I'll just use a nice sharp knife here to cut out the perimeter. Alright. Like so. These lines, these tiny lines right here, are just going to be scored. So I'm not cutting all the way through, but I am cutting them a little bit, and then when you hit it with a heat gun, those will open up and create some cool little details. So heat it. Just a little bit of heat and those will open up, and when you paint that, that'll stand out really nicely. This dot right here, I'm just going to use the end of my rotary tool and poke it, and that will create a nice circle, like so. Just like that. So there we go, we got a nice little circle on there, and then for these slots, I have a tube. This is the little aluminum tube, and I need to make sure it's nice and sharp. I've sharpened the edge here, but I'm going to go back over it with these needle files and sharpen the edge a bit, because I'm going to use this to cut through, and the foam really dulls it. So I'm just going through and sprucing up that edge a little bit, both on the inside and on the outside here, with some files, just so I've got a nice jagged cutting edge on that. And then I can even look down the tube at the spot where it needs to go to aim it, and then twist it as I go down, like so. Like that. I've got a little piece of foam in there. Boop. I can keep that if I want to circle rivet or something. Let's aim up the next one. Goes right there. Oop, spin it as we go down. Oh, almost made it. There we go. Pop that out. Boop. And then we can connect those with, just grab a ruler here so I can come up with a nice line. Like that. And then with a very sharp knife, I can go in and connect those on one side. Try not to cut through the circle. Connect them on the other side. Like that. Pop that out and we have a slot. So let's continue that all the way down until I've got my final piece like this. And I'll barge up that side and I'll just show you on this one here. Let's see, that gets lined up like so. And I can stick it down just like that. There we go. We've got some nice vents on the side of our helmet so our dude doesn't overheat. There you go. Just do the same thing over here and glue it down. Yeah. There is our helmet. So far, anyway. I'm pretty happy with how it's gone so far. It does have a little bit of a Mega Man look to it. It just kind of inadvertently went that way. I'm okay with that, though. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is kind of think on this a bit. Try and decide if I want to add any more detail to it, do any more work to it. There are some large areas here that have a nice texture, but there isn't really any additional detail, so I may want to add some stuff there. And I might try and think a bit more and see how I can maybe make it look not like Mega Man. But so far, I am very happy with it. And there you go. A little bit of a tutorial on how you can take that basic template that I have, that I did in my last video, and spruce it up a bit, hide your seams, and make a pretty decent looking helmet for yourself. Once again, this template is available for just a couple of dollars over on punishprops.com. So if you want to give this a go yourself, head on over there and grab it. And if you want to make your own head template, well, then you can head on over and see our video I did a couple days ago showing how I came up with the basic template. Give it a go yourself. Hey guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me on the live stream today. If you didn't get to catch this one live, it's twitch.tv/punishprops. Head on over there, give us a follow, and you'll get notifications for when we go live. Usually from the shop, it is noon Pacific on Tuesdays. We also do our Q&A show. That's on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific. So it's worth a follow if you want to catch them live. Thanks so much for checking out the video. I hope you guys give helmet making a try yourself. Grab yourself some EVA foam. Have fun with it. That's all I have for today. Until next time, I'll see you in the next build. Hey, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss any of our new weekly prop and costume tutorial videos. For more goodies, head over to our website where you'll find blueprints, tutorial books, articles, and more. We also have a second channel for our Q&A show and extra behind the scenes videos. Thanks again and happy crafting.